There you go. You want to make some space? Thank you. Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me, for being present in this moment with me. I want to talk about, the whole understanding, feeling, experience of the future and the past not actually existing. That all there really is right now. Like on a very visceral level, that all there really is right now. And how we get so angry at things from the past and we get so anxious about what the future might hold. And yet, all there is right now, you know? So why do we do that? Why am I doing that to myself? So to give, like, I'm gonna read something worth saying. I'll share a little bit of today's experience with you, and then I'll try and share what I've tried to learn from today's experiences. And you know what's weird? A part of me didn't want to share today's experiences, and then I took that as the reason to share the experiences. It's like, yeah, I don't think I should share any of that. And then my mind is like, okay, because you thought I shouldn't share any of that, I'm gonna share all of it. And my mind's like, no. So I'm either getting manipulated by the subconscious, or I'm getting, or I'm choosing consciously to go against my subconscious, or my subconscious is manipulating my conscious self by telling my conscious self not to do things. uh, Flips back and forth. Okay. I want to read something we're saying, and then we'll get right into it. Oh goodness! Oh no! How's this possible? The practice of forgiveness is the whole of spirituality. Why? Because forgiveness means to let the world off the hook, to release any sense of victim consciousness, and to forgive oneself. I promise. I promise it feels like these things find me because that's literally what I want to talk about today. So, okay, I want to, I feel like it's too good to be true. What I wanted to share with you, friends, today is my experience. So, I basically started studying. I'm starting my yoga teacher training course today, which I'm very excited for. And I've printed out a bunch of stuff and I've been reading through that. And while I was reading through it, I was like spending an hour and a half just like, you know, one mindedly focused on the information. So I was like, okay, dude, you need to take a break, go for like a little lap around the garden. And I go for my little lap and I get to the lavender plants. And I remember that close to the lavender plants, I've planted this beautiful tree, or at least it is like when it's fully grown, it is a beautiful tree, and it already had like a main stem and then three stems coming out of it, and then those little ones fractaled as well. So I could see the mature form of this tree, and I was already in love with it. Planted this tree, and then went to go and give my tree some love, and to find it has been snipped off at the base, completely snipped off, and like someone used scissors to cut this little tree off. And instantly my mind, my like the experience of my being gets angry, gets so angry, like who dares cut my tree down. And then this practice of forgiveness, and like I basically did the same. I basically go through the same mindset of all I can do is forgive. What has happened quite literally is in the past. It is done. The tree has been cut off. You can get angry, you can beat yourself up, you can beat whoever cut this tree off up, but is that going to change the situation? Is it going to make the tree miraculously reappear? And then upon realizing that whoever cut that tree off probably thought it was some sort of foreign object or foreign plant growing in the little garden. So was just trying to do something good in their own mind as well. So referencing this understanding that love is true, I could convince myself to forgive whoever cut my tree down. And I was like, I kind of put it down, like I was holding on to it, and I was like really hurting myself with this cactus that I was gripping and pushing the thorns into my own hand, and I let go of that thorns. I put the cactus down, moved away from it, kind of went back to studying, like got some good information, obviously, and finished. I was talking to some people, while this was going on as well, and that was very wonderful to me. Just having some conversations with friends, and I basically, realized that it's time for me to go and get ready, shower, and get ready for my yoga session. And I get into the room where my yoga mat is, and I just see these like dirt marks, like it's human feet. But whoever used my yoga mat for some reason didn't bother cleaning their feet. So I'm just seeing these like splotches on my yoga mat, and it's 2 days old. I think that's where the real gripe comes from. It's a 2 day old mat, like it's brand new. I got it for myself because I'm going to be doing yoga training. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing to invest into something for myself, get myself this yoga mat. And then I walking in this room and it's dirty and it has holes stepped into it in different places and like tears in the yoga mat. And I'm just the exact same emotions come over me, of my tree being cut down today. And I'm like, oh my goodness. How dare you? Who dares? I don't know who it is. That's the beautiful thing of it as well. I don't know who cut my tree down. I don't know who stepped holes in my yoga mat. And I don't need to. I don't need to know to forgive. And I basically go through my yoga training, the session that we were busy with, like viscerally feeling the anger inside of myself, like and then I see the anger. I acknowledge the anger inside of myself, and then I kind of bring it back to the understanding that it's done. It's done. It's been done. There's holes in the mat now. There's dirt, like ingrained into the fibers. The tree has been cut down. It is done. Why am I lamenting? Why am I creating this visceral angry energy within inside of myself when it's finished? It's not going to help. It's not going to help. Oh goodness, yeah, genuinely, Natalie. And I basically get to this point where I'm thinking about this beautiful Alan Watts saying, about washing dishes. Because technically, if you want to think of it in like the scale of infinity, and you do it in a way where it's detrimental. Let me say it in this way. So you imagine that all of the dishes that you've ever washed, right? Like you standing in this moment washing this dish. And this dish washing moment that you're having has been repeated for as long as you've been alive, for as long as you've had to wash your own dishes. Then you can also think about the future, going into infinitum every single time you have to wash your own dishes. But that can be very detrimental to you because you're imagining all of this stuff that you had to do, all of the stuff that you will have to do, when instead you're washing one dish. Just one dish. That's what you're actually doing. The past and the present, the past and the future, excuse me, do not exist. Not really. All that exists is this moment. Hermias Plur. That sip of water. I can think about all of the sips of water I've taken, all of the sips of water I will take. But that sip of water was the one I just had, and that's the one I had to be present with. So I feel like the universe, life is trying to show me that lesson in such a visceral and tangible way, where it's like, yes, there are things that's going to happen in your life. There are things that going to kind of influence your experience, your awareness of. There are things that you're not going to be happy about, but they're done. It has happened. Being angry about what has happened instead of being hopeful for what can happen, it just hurts us. And if you're not present in this moment, if you don't allow yourself to forgive all of these pasts that have happened, to free yourself from all of the presents that may come, then you're always going to be in this state of almost attachment to the past and of what has happened and how that continues to influence you, or you're going to be expectant of the future. And as soon as we have a certain desire, as soon as we have an idealized outcome, we're going to cause ourselves suffering, because that's just not how life works. Sometimes people cut your trees down. That happens. It does happen. It happens. Yeah. Damn. And then this thing we're saying, like I just opened this book randomly, and the one thing we're saying that's like gonna be the most hard hitting, the practice of forgiveness is the whole of spirituality. Why? Because forgiveness means to let the world off the hook, to release any sense of victim consciousness, and to forgive oneself. I'm not a victim. My tree got cut down. My tree got cut down. I'm not a victim to that crime. My mat has holes stepped in it and like dirt a part of it now. I'm not a victim. I release any sense of victim consciousness. I forgive myself. I even forgive myself for getting angry. In fact, yes. I forgive myself for that as well. And I'm letting the world off the hook. Because we can't expect the world to be a certain way. All we can do is be a certain way. And if the way that we are, the way we carry ourselves in this world is going to be one of anger and one of lashing out and hurting others for the things that has happened, instead of loving one another and giving to one another in an expansive way for what might happen for the future that we're trying to build together, we'll never figure it out if we don't switch. We have to love one another right now to benefit the future instead of being angry right now because of the past. You see what I'm trying to I hope so. I hope this idea, this feeling comes through to you, friends, as well. Oh, okay, goodness. Natalie, like unironically, the fact that you're setting 11:11 today. I started studying at 11:11. Then I walked past the washing machine and it was at 11 minutes, to being finished. Then after that, I walked back to my room, walked past the microwave, and there was 11 there as well. So I'm also on the 11s today, Natalie. My wish is for everyone to appreciate the next drink of water. Ooh, I love that. Ooh. Ermias Plur. Technically, this is not just water today. I squeezed a single grapefruit into my water bottle for the day. I am fasting, and I don't believe there's enough sugar in a single grapefruit to affect my fast, to kick me out of ketosis. But there are some good goods in a grapefruit, so I'm very happy to actually get that in. I need to hear this today, like a lot. Thanks, Ev. Thank you, Todd. Thank you for being here, to be hearing these words, my friend, to be feeling into this with me, because it's genuinely like I feel life has this crazy way of just teaching me stuff over and over and over again, and it teaches me stuff in the weirdest of ways. Release all of that tension. That's how it does it. It's like, oh yeah, let me snip this tree off. Let's see how you feel about that. And I'm like, I'm angry about it. It's like, yeah, you're angry about it, are you? Now forgive. And I'm like, but I'm angry. Yes, that's why you're angry, so that you can forgive. And I'm like, but and it was like, shh, shh, forgive. Calm down. Forgive. Release. Let the world off the hook. Oh goodness. I'm getting schooled. Actively getting schooled. This is amazing. You are amazing, friend. Thank you for joining me. Dear Patriot, thank you for joining us, Dad. It's nice to have you here. On that note, tuned in at 11:33. Of course you did. I like 33 was one of the numbers that came through to me as well today. Minutes into the stream, not time. Oh, as you said, as I read it, I like checked my little timestamp on the YouTube as well. Thank you for joining us, Jovan. It's so nice having you here. Corey, Brother Bear, it's nice to have you here as well. Ninja Nanner and Shannon, so much love to you. Lisa is joining us. Melt fam, how was yoga training? I'm starting today, technically. Officially, I'm starting today at 5:30. I'm happy that I'm actually reminding my consciousness of that. We have 1 hour streams for a while now, because my stream started at 5:30, so it is 16 minutes past 4 right now, so 16:16 at this exact moment. So I'm going to have to leave a little bit earlier for at least, the next 10 days, I think. Crafty Meaning, hello to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us as well, Rusty Rasta. Hello, how's it, boot? Must be a South African gentleman. Carthine Destructor, thank you for joining us. Hi to you, friend. Isaac is joining us as well, saying hello and good morning, beautiful souls. Hope you're feeling good this Monday fun day. I am in fact feeling good. I feel like I've been really resonating with the number one, and my Patreon art is also going to be, the number one geometry. And I just felt like this is the start. This is the first moment again of the rest of my life. I'm starting a genuine, pursuit of becoming a yogi, whatever that's supposed to mean. Excuse me, I like my terminology. Like I say it, and I'm like, wow, what does that even mean? What does it mean? Someone who does yoga, apparently, who follows certain ways of living. I'm so fascinated by that world, and I'm so excited to be learning. And it feels like the very start of this journey. Yesterday was day 9. Like I follow this 1 to 9 pattern with the art I make, and it was like yesterday was a difficult day for me, very difficult day for me. I feel a lot better, by the way, friends. Like bounds and leaps. I feel like my body, knew something that I didn't, and it had to do something that I might consider as uncomfortable to benefit me right now, to ensure the comfort that I'm going to need to have going into the rest of the week. I'll be fasting for 7 days. At least that's the plan. I'll see if my body lets me know otherwise. Goodness, the sun. Like the one spot where there is no freaking leaves is exactly where the sun is like. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna blast your face, bruh. Thank you, sun, for providing all of that wonderful rays of light. Uh, I'm trying to use this tree. Won't you work with the tree to provide shade, please? Oh goodness. Later. Good morning, Heather. You seem like you're vibrating, buzzing, a flowing energy today. I am feeling really good. Like the fast is treating me well. Like I feel I'm already in ketosis because of what happened yesterday. Oh goodness. I literally, so I weighed in this morning 77.3 kilograms. Yesterday morning, I weighed in 80.3 kilograms. So 6 pounds. I lost 6 pounds since yesterday, which doesn't sound possible. Say it. Yeah. Yeah. So going into the fast, I feel clear. I feel very clear right now. And it makes me so happy. Why does my name have a little cake? It doesn't have a little cake on my phone, unfortunately, Isaac. Oh, actually, it's your cake day. Like if it's on your profile, it's actually your cake day, which means it's the 1 year anniversary of when you first created your Reddit account. I've been finding many more artifacts, and there are similarities to lithics. I don't know what lithic is, unfortunately, Dan. Please do educate me. Found in Africa, lithics. Antiques, type of antiques found in Africa. Please do let me know. Candace, thank you for joining us. It's a boy. It's a boy. Thank you for joining me, friend. How are you doing? How are the girls? How's Teddy? Oh, poor tree. I'm also sad about my tree. That tree didn't deserve it. It was like just at the infancy of his life, and like I'm a very romantic person, so I don't just think about the moment. Unfortunately, I like to think about the future instead of the past. And I was seeing this tree's future. I was seeing it being this beautiful, magnificent fractal exploding out of the ground, feeding me oxygen, giving home to little critters. Just having this fractal explode out of the soil there. I could see it. I could see it in my mind's eye. And then when I saw it, like, like kind of like snipped and it's kind of like broken apart as it was being cut, like someone like really went for it. I just felt pain. I felt a physical, visceral sense of pain. And that pain led to anger. And that anger led to understanding. And that understanding led to forgiveness. Sometimes we learn these things the hardest way. And it's unfortunate that we have to do it that way. and yet, and yet, that's how it is sometimes. Cheers to you, life, for teaching me difficult lessons. Mm, man. Hi to you, Nia-san. It's nice to have you here, friend. We found it. Our place, 6 acres in the woods, and the cool thing is there are people living there who are off-grid only people. Everyone there are s- everyone there are say on survival. Everyone there stay on survival, maybe? And are like minded as we are. Great. The girls are excited to start moving and getting everything ready to go. Woo! Goodness, what an adventure that is going to be. Thank you for sharing it with us. Even if it's, by text, we appreciate it so much, Candace. If you are willing to, we would love to see photos as well, kind of have a little window into your life. Isaac, your cake day. It is happy cake day, Isaac. Thank you for joining us, Mixed to Death. It's nice to have you here, friend. It's not, maybe Reddit think it's for some reason I'm a July baby. So it's like a Reddit birthday, like the actual Reddit account that you created, the exact date of it. It has been one revolution around the sun since then. Yeah, technically that still checks out. It's not okay. There we go. Hey, Veva, it's been a while, friend. Thank you for joining us. We have Fred Bear saying hi. Love to you, friend. We have Nissan giving us some synchronistic numbers. I appreciate that as well. It's your Reddit cake day, Reddit anniversary. That's right, Painted Black. Thank you for letting our friend know. Eden, beloved friend, thank you for joining us. Thank you for gifting me with a glow up. Mm. Like I'm seeing a glow up, almost like a bomb, you know, like the whole visceral shockwave and bright flash and energy coming off of that space. But instead of it being an actual explosion, it's just you cutting away, melting away, if you will, all the things that obstruct the light that is within you, and then suddenly it's like you instantly go transparent, and then as you go transparent, just light everywhere. Lithics, stone tools, and other chipped stone tools. Thank you for letting me know that. Now I know something new. Lithics is stone tools, usually, you know, found in some sort of ancient site, of course. Yes. Mm. So if I ever talk to a geography friend, there's a geography, an antiques friend, be like, yes, I know what lithics are. Oh, you do, do you? Starts dropping facts on me. I'm like, oh, I do not know what lithics are. Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you teaching me, friend. Frankie Marie, thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I see. Yes, happy cake day. Indeed, friend. I'm not sure, but I think it's your Reddit anniversary if the cake shows up. But Jesus, you must have your settings a bit private because we can't see your cake. Only you, friend. That is interesting. I saw the cake. I think maybe we can't see it here. If you go to like an actual post by Isaac and on his actual profile, maybe you'll be able to find it. And then alternatively, if he comments on like a random post, they should be a little flare as well. So the cake. Anyone want a slice? Don't you tempt me, Isaac. Not right now. Thanks, Painting Black. It's been. I'm a bit long-winded. You're doing fine, Heather. Thank you, my friend, for saying the same. Katie, good morning to you, friend. It's nice to have you here. GG to you, Noorclap. Some digital cake. Super low-cal. That is true. Ninja Peach. That is true. You know, like I'm fasting right now, so I can't have actual cake, but digital cake is low calorie. Now I'm just imagining a whole world, you know, where we have like some sort of super advanced means of creating taste, you know, either by hacking our tongues or the little electrical impulses going towards our brains from our tongues, or just kind of like skipping the whole. Actually, like not okay. So my mind was going into this little fractal, and then it found like a little offshoot that I was like, wait a second. Would you, if you had like for instance a brain implant that could connect directly to your like receptors, would you be able to taste in the same way that you do if you taste with your tongue? Because there is something kind of physical, and as a part of that like visceral texture experience, something about tasting as well. Ugh. Like I tried for a second to taste with my brain, and my brain was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that? What do you want to taste? What do you want to?" Mm. Oh, what, dude? If you can tell me, I'd be happy. Look, hook me up with a slice. Ice cream too. Oh, ice cream and cake do actually walk together pretty nicely. It is important to feel the reactions to things. It doesn't always feel good while you're feeling it, but it gives you more of a breath of understanding into what you care about. Take that realization and live into it. Like, absolutely. I don't know if that's exactly the way I structured the title, but that is what I meant with the title as well, is to get information from the past, you know? I got the information that my tree has been cut off. And instead of screaming about the past, I can be hopeful. I can be like, okay, next time when I plant a tree, I'll be sure to let every single person in the world know. that my tree has been planted here. So please don't cut my tree off. Hmm? You know, hope for the future instead of anger at the past. You're completely right. Thank you, Isaac. Melt, I want to ask, I'm in this state where you feel there's no use in being angry because it's done, etc., and things of yours are being broken and abused. Are you not worried that boundaries will continue to be overstepped? That is the first thing that I thought about, interestingly enough, Heather. You know, as soon as I tried to, get into this space of forgiveness, especially, again, coming back to that fundamental understanding of forgiveness, where you let the world off the hook and almost like laying down and making yourself available to be stepped on over and over again. And the way that I rationalized it is just to be vocal, to be present, if you will, to be like, hey, I noticed these things. These things happened. I don't know why they happened. I don't know what your thought process was when it happened, but I don't want this to happen again. I hope for the future it won't happen again. And that way, like you're still keeping boundaries, you're still respecting yourself, but you're not creating more tension, more separation because of what has happened in the past. So that's the way that I've rationalized it for myself, Heather. I hope it helps for you as well. Armin, thank you for the silver, friend. That's so kind of you. Oh yes, gluten free. It, brother, digitized ice cream cake incoming. Not sure what to do with this, my friend. Like that's up to you to find out. Xperia, the information I share here, I'm not sharing from this perspective of this is the only truth and you have to now listen to this truth and go and live this truth without, fail. And if you do not live this truth, then this and this is gonna happen. Absolutely not, dude. I don't know anything. I'm I'm this bipedal little organism on a planet in a solar system in a Milky Way in an infinite universe. How can I know anything? How can I know a fraction of everything? All I know is what I'm feeling right now. And what I'm feeling right now, I feel is important for me to share because we're all feeling beings. And even if you listen to a feeling, you can gain feeling from that. You're actively in this moment eliciting a response from the words I'm saying right now. And that's your feeling. That's what's valuable. Your perspective is what's valuable. I'm just sharing mine and I'm open to hearing yours. I could be present and feel the feelings, but you're a stronger human than I. If you can walk away from destruction of your property without at least a conversation, I don't think I'm going to walk away without a conversation, but the way that I think so, let me put it in this way, Heather, like the initial response I had, I feel would have not been one of constructive conversation. But because I got to spend time with it as information coming from the past, not being in that present moment, learning from the past instead of being angry in this present moment for it, I think in the future, when I do have the conversation, I'll be a little bit more level headed about it. It is difficult, Heather. It definitely is difficult. And I'm a very respectful person personally. Like I value people's time. I value people's, things. And if I'm going to be using your things, then I'm going to try and return it to you in exactly the same condition I found it, or even a better condition. If I'm going to drive your car, I'm going to give it back to you washed in of a tank of fuel, because that is the least I can do to show you that I respect you as much as you respected me and being willing to use the things that I have. And on that level, I get very angry, Heather. I do get very angry because I feel like it's the least you could do, like just some common decency. Is that too much to ask for? But I ask for. Instead of getting outraged because it hasn't been met, I ask for it instead. And in that way, we literally will change this world. We really will. They cut your actual tree. Yeah. Yeah, they cut my actual tree. Uh, I'm not chill. Shannon, I really needed this today, Mel. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much for being here with me, friends. Like, we're growing together. That's what we're doing, and every single one of us is going to grow in a different way because we have a different environment, we have different starting soil, we have different rain cycles, if you will, we have different root systems, we have different entities close to us, so we have to grow in a different direction to be able to get the sunlight. You see the analogy I'm trying to make? Every single one of us are perfectly unique, perfectly divine, perfectly beautiful. And the fact that we're willing to grow with one another instead of feeling like, oh, if that tree grows all the way over there, probably means that I have less water now because look at that tree growing. Must have drank so much water in his life. Damn it, I'm gonna try and kill that tree with my mind because how dare that tree be so big and beautiful? Just grow. Grow into a big and beautiful tree. That's all we have to do. That's what we're doing. I appreciate you friends for growing with me. So funny. Our neighbor had a birch tree. It was beautiful and the only one in the neighborhood. And when my new neighbor moved in, they cut it down. I wanted to cry about that tree, and it wasn't even mine. Not sure the feeling was anger, but sadness. There's a very thin line between anger and sadness. I get angry when I get sad because I don't like being sad, and that feeling of not liking being sad makes me angry. So I feel what you're saying, Ninja Peach. I would have I would have gotten very angry probably, seeing this tree cut down, especially if it's the only tree in the neighborhood. Why would you do that? I mean, unless it's, very close to someone's home and it has the potential of toppling over and causing extreme damage or harm to you and your family. Why would you do that? Why would you kill the tree? And you can see there's a massive tree. Okay, like the YouTube can see it. Damn it, I can't turn it anymore. There's a massive tree, this tree growing directly at the side of the house, and it provides so much shade. It provides so much life. It provides so much home for these little birds. It causes our house to be like 3, 4 degrees cooler during the summer. We need trees desperately, and like one of the nice things about South Africa is that we're very pro trees in our cities. If that makes any sense. Goodness, I'm so sorry, Eden. Is there any situation where you feel there is value in getting upset or acceptance? I'm not forgiving, or accept that I'm not forgiving, not trying to rock the boat, just genuinely curious. Oh, not at all, Heather. I'm here with you to hear these questions, friend. I feel they're very valuable, and you every single time you ask one of these questions, you give me an opportunity to say something from from a place of truth, from a place of truth inside of myself. So, or like never ever feel any resistance to that. I feel like I've maybe already answered your question. Like I don't think there is anything wrong in and of itself with getting upset, with feeling that anger, but I do think there is something wrong with how you use it. Like I used to be, I think I'm still capable of being an extremely aggressive person, and it's no longer who I want to be. So in that way, I feel like instead of thinking of there might be situations where I will allow myself to be aggressive, and I can think of one now. If someone were to try and attack my family members, then I'm not going to stop myself from being aggressive. Someone tries to hurt my family, I'm gonna fold them like a lawn chair, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it afterwards either. But if it's about something like my property getting damaged, my tree getting cut down, it's already done. It's already done. Like me getting angry, me being upset in that situation isn't going to change the situation, isn't going to serve me. This fly, dude, can you not, please? Please, dude. Please? Please, Mr. Fly. Not on my face, dude. You can be anywhere else, but not on my face. Thank you. Like there's technically no situation in which I want to be angry because I don't want to be an angry person. And I would like to not find myself in any situations where I do get angry. And I feel The funny part of it is the more I try to live into that space, the more situations, potential situations, I find to be angry within. So I think we'll just have to continue learning from our truth in that moment, Heather. Genuinely be present, genuinely ask questions about why it is we're feeling the way it is, why we're feeling about it the way we are, and how we can use that feeling as a means to learn from it. That's what I was trying to do today. Visceral anger. And then instead of lashing out, kind of addressing that anger with inside of myself to the external world, I tried to forgive instead. I tried to accept that it's done. I'll just have to plant another tree. Start over again. Hey, Shannon, so much love to you. The pink scarf is a victim. It's a victim. It's a gift from my mom, actually. So every time I wear it, I feel like, parts of my mom, parts of the energy, parts of the love that she has for me gets embodied within it. So I feel, it might be a victim of love. Can that be something? A victim of projection, I would say, is a better way to put it, because it might have an identity of its own, it might have an understanding of who it wants to be. But now I think of it as, one of the scars my mom gave me and the love that she shared with me, in doing so. Thank you, friend, for joining us, Xperia. Forgiveness is the absolute antidote to an unserving ego. We must know that the ripples in the still water caused by chaotic rocks thrown are necessary and beautiful. The fluidity of self sustains. It is up to us if we ride the ripples or struggle. There we go. Ride the ripples or struggle. So, if you friends ever wondered why I call this beautiful man Isaac Joe 99, why Isaac? That's exactly why. Oh yeah, there is. You definitely broke the fast. There's literally, this much juice for my entire day, Xperia. And I know when I've broken a fast because it changes my mindset. Because ketones and sucrose, no, glycogen, technically, have different ways of acting with your brain. You feel differently, you sleep differently. Xperia, it used to be everyone. It is used by everyone. I'm missing there a little bit. Reddit. No, look who it is. Nelson, Brother Bear. I shall be brief. I'm just stopping by to show my loves. Thank you for the heartwarming. Nelson, I love you, Brother Bear. Thank you for joining us even for a second. Perfect sharing the space with you, to friends. I don't get into the numbers thing, generally because my memory is so bad and I can't recall what I see. But I saw 333 at least 3 times yesterday, and it's kind of weirded me out because it started to be eerie. You know, that's the thing. That's what synchronicity is to me as well. It's like things repeating so often that it becomes eerie. But instead of thinking of it as eerie, you can just think of it as the universe being like, woo woo, yeah, you do it. Yeah, you go. That's how I see it now. The universe is just telling you that whatever it is you're doing, however it is you're living your life, because you're living your life in the way that you are, you find yourself in this moment, seeing things in this moment because you did everything right up until this moment. And then it gives you this synchronicity, this number, this interpretation. And you can, if you feel, compelled to go and look up what this number is supposed to represent, and you can feel from that as well. It doesn't have to be your truth. It doesn't have to be something that you now, uproot your entire life because of, but it can be an extra means to feel, oh, I just saw the number 333 3 times in one day. I wonder what that means. Let me go and search. What does 333 supposed to mean? And then you'll get a bunch of information, and it might be absolute gibberish. It might be absolute, vague nonsense. But in vague nonsense, you can find yourself. And that's the point. Just learning from yourself, learning from your current experience, feeling into what it is you're going through. Awesome Monday vibes, the bestest. I had 444 333 runes last night in Elden Ring. It's infiltrating my imaginary worlds. Mine too, Isaac. Weirdly enough, mine too. And it's interesting. Let me just say it that way. It's interesting how the things we do, even if we do them again, bring us to the same synchronistic space. Estian, I find it's such a full circle with your father and his conviction and his faith. And now here you are, start starting your own spiritual leadership with being a yogi. Thank you so much, Lisa. Like I feel a little bit apprehensive to the words spiritual leadership. I don't know why exactly. I don't consider myself a spiritual leader necessarily, only an explorer of it. You know, like I'm not necessarily leading us anywhere other than right here. You know, that's one of my goals, is just to enlighten, to show, I think is a better word. Enlighten has too much baggage on top of it. To show to people the awareness that resides within them, to show them that it's okay for them to share their own awareness of the outside world, of their inside world, and to love myself, to accept myself fully enough so that others may as well. And if that is spiritual leadership, then like label me that. But I feel we're all the leaders. Like I cannot lead you anywhere because I'm living my own life. And I have my own challenges and I have my own experiences. And as a result of these challenges and experiences, I'll share the insights I gain from them. But you go through your own challenges and experiences. And even though there might be overlap, with our challenges and experiences, and there's so much value in learning from each other's perspectives, we're still the ones living in our experience, making decisions for our experience, creating our own experience. And if I have to be a leader of that, I feel like I don't have the capacity. I cannot be a leader in that way because every single one of us is the leader of that experience. You are the tip of the spear, friend. I'm just the other side of this infinity, and I'm trying to show. I'm trying to show instead of teach. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate. All I see is love in your words, nonetheless. Dude, Mr. Fly, can you please? Not in the face, dude. Like in the face is way too noticeable. Thank you. Thank you. Right back at you. I still can't see the cake. You won't, Heather. Unfortunately. No worries. I'm here with you. Hey, look who it is, Kate. It's so nice to have you here, my friend. Like I think you missed some of the most, ranty parts of the stream, and I would highly recommend that you go back and listen to it. I feel like it would have a lot of, value for your current predicament. Congratulations, Candace. I'm glad you found your piece of the earth. So much love and light to you and your beautiful family. Thank you for that, Lisa. Thank you for allowing me to share it. Hey, fire everything, Jenny. Nice to have you here as well, friend. Oh, I have a question, says Heather. Do y'all think that anger or being upset is tied to self confidence in any way? As in, people who lack in confidence esteem might tend to get or stay upset or angry than people who are confident or vice versa. I don't actually, Heather. I consider myself a very confident person, and that confidence is something that can cause me anger, because I'm so certain about the things I'm saying or the things I'm believing that opposition to that can be met with anger. And being aware of that, having become aware of that, I would rather say, has served me in a lot of ways, where I feel anger is something that is unanimous, like every single person can be angry about something. It's just a matter of what is important to them. And again, we get angry about things that are important to us. And if you're confident or not confident, you still have things that are important to you. And if those things are being assaulted, then you're going to get angry. Not having a good day, to be honest, but trying to work through it. As am I, Kate. We're doing it together, friend. Apologies for whatever going on. The important thing is that you're still having the day. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to. And I know you'll be coming back up soon. Thank you, Isaac, for sharing that love, friend. You've had a lot of DMT. Good for you. I haven't had that much DMT, interestingly enough, friend. I have a total of 4 breakthroughs. So at most, at most, maybe 300 milligrams in my entire life. Just think about that. A third of a gram of this, chemical in my entire life. Like a third of a gram. Because I want to represent something as a third of a gram. Like I feel, what would be the best way to represent that? A teaspoon of sugar or a teaspoon of water is 5 grams, for example. Just a teaspoon. So like just think of that as volume. And now a fifth of that would be 1 gram, of course. And then a third of that is how much I've taken in my entire life. Isn't that surreal? And I feel having taken that much, I'm done for at least the next decade. At least that's how I'm feeling right now. Like I don't need to have that experience anytime soon again. And the last experience I had was basically just a resounding understanding of that. Like, oh, sure, this experience is available and you can completely melt away and into oneness. You can, but why are you here? Why are you not within oneness? At least that level of oneness. And why are you here instead? And then realize that you're supposed to be here instead. That's why you're here. And I really understood that in that moment. And it's serving me, friend. Thank you for being here as well, Electro Wolf. You and me both hanging there, sending love back your way as well, friend. Hang in there, brother. It's a sister. Only way we lose is if we give up. There we go, man. It's so nice to have such beautiful friends, Electro Wolf and Honest Packer. I appreciate your friends' loving words. Genuinely, it means so much. I absolutely change my tastes. I'd absolutely change my taste if possible. I'd love to play with that. Maybe a super good VR can simulate eating food. I'd love to gorge on garbage in that space. Me too. Unfortunately, me too. Like I genuinely like eating. I love it. It's so fun. I think it's one of the experiences I'm here for as well. I'm here to eat things. I'm here to breathe. I'm here to love, and I need to eat things. I need to breathe in order to love. So they kind of like go hand in hand. And goodness, like because of that, because I really enjoy, eating big meals as well, doing intermittent fasting has really served me because I get to, like as you're saying, gorge myself for one meal or for like one period of time, and then I'm like completely away from food again for the rest of the day, and then I fluctuate between abstinence and refeed, and I feel it's better that way. But then I think of it as you're saying, in this VR space, if you could have digital taste experiences, would you have a satiety that gets reached where you're like, okay, oh, that was enough delicious things, or would you just like be pressing that delicious things button over and over again? I mean, who knows? Like imagine that, one of the future addictions of our planet is being addicted to eating fake food. It's like, excuse me, what? Yep, yep. Hey, are you that white dude that went to India for a month and is now very spiritual? No, can't say I have. I do want to go to India though. I would love to see Keval and Chow and Laverne, not Laverne, Naren. He's been here, hasn't been here in a while. I miss him so much. Miss Chow as well. Keval has been here recently, but I would love to go and see those friends. I would love to go to India as well. I would love to go to the Himalayan mountains, but all in time. Thank you for joining us, my friend, for asking. Nice. I feel like I've conditioned myself to feel serenity, like Pavlov's law, except with the word breath instead of a bell. No, stop it! Stop it! I didn't even read. I didn't even finish reading your words, and I like as soon as I read the word serenity, I had to take a breath with that, and then I read breath. Stop influencing my brain. Thank you, Jovan, for giving me a chance. You're that really white guy, right? Netherlands windmill. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. What do you mean? I think I watched his stream before, and he told no. Unfortunately, I haven't been to India just yet, and I don't consider myself very enlightened. I feel I'll only be enlightened once I die. That'll be the final moment where I officially enter into the light. So, right now I'm still human. Human being making sounds with my mouth. The sounds of my mouth gets turned into understanding within you. That's what's happening. That's all I know. He's that smart as behind daddy's money. No, he's that smart as behind daddy's money. Exactly. I might have mixed you up with some other guy. Yes, you are. We are all perfectly imperfect. That we are, friend. Perfectly imperfect. Every single one of us. Thank you for joining me, friend, for being here with us. How long have you been fasting? Like, as a practice for about 5 years now. When I was 18, I did my very first 2 week fast, and I did it in the middle of not my midterms, my final exams. I was like, away, I'm just gonna not eat food for 2 weeks while writing tests, and it went fantastically. I really enjoyed it. I lost a lot of weight, mostly fat, of course. I kind of kept myself exercising and reminded my body that, hey, oh, these muscle things are necessary. Please don't eat them. And my body was like, oh, fine, fine. Guess I'm gonna eat fat instead. And like I kind of fell out of that practice of getting super dedicated with my fitness, because during that time of my life, it kind of started from a place of fear, my exercise journey, because I was getting bullied and pushed down and getting beaten. And then I was like, I'm gonna get so jacked that if someone tries to fuck with me, I'm gonna snap them in half. And I got that jacked. And people were like, oh, Melt is using steroids. And I was like, yeah, thank you. If you think I'm using steroids while not using steroids, that's a massive compliment. And I remember so viscerally as well being like in the hostel, like doing 3 pull-ups, and like literally at the third pull-up, my entire being shaking. And then these dudes in the hostel that were there with me, would like do the same, mocking me and like trying to do one pull-up, shaking, and then looking over at me and then doing a bunch of pull-ups in succession, being like, oh yeah, look at this loser. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm a loser, am I? All right. And I got super obsessed, like dangerously obsessed. And I became dangerous because of that as well, because I was obsessed, because I was becoming stronger, and because I started doing it from this place of fear. I had this intention, this want to be feared as well. And it was like kind of attached with vanity as well. I wanted to look good, and if you look good, you no 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 no. And a bunch of things came from that, and I learned a bunch of things from that. And then i I moved to Pretoria, and I met these friends, and they were people that I've never met before. You know, you can call them hippies if you want to. These individuals that would go to psytrance festivals and take acid and smoke weed and have conversations, and it opened me up to a type of being that I didn't even know was possible. A type of communion, a type of understanding, a type of mutual love and respect for one another and for ideas and for interpretation. And that allowed me, alongside all of the things I was doing, to grow a lot. And because I was growing in that way, I kind of went in the opposite direction of like, my body isn't what's important, my mind is. And I started neglecting my body, and I gained a bunch of weight doing that as well. And then upon coming back from China, like basically was there and then went to China and then was still in this journey of not taking care of myself. Coming back now again, I'm doing it for all of, this is my opinion, all of the right reasons, to take care of myself, the understanding of mind, body, and spirit needing to be one unity, the understanding of what eating less often, not eating less, eating less often does for your body on a visceral, like physical level. Like it literally uses all of your spent proteins, uses all of these things that are kind of like malfunctioning as a fuel source to continue your experience. That, alongside this understanding that by fasting, instead of having all of these external influences like food, like intoxicants, I'm just eating myself. I'm breathing air and I'm drinking water. And just by doing that, I'm allowed an experience. And that is what I'm basically doing this fast for as well. You know, this time around, I'm doing this week fast as I'm starting yoga teacher training. And I'm going to be doing a lot of yoga. And I want to basically program myself on a visceral and physical level to associate the yoga practice with one of renewal, with one of regeneration, with one of melting away all of the things that don't serve me and building the things that do on a mental level, on a physical understanding level, and on a spiritual level. Fasting is something that can really benefit you. I'd highly recommend it. Sometimes you need to cut a tree to get more sunlight. We have enough sunlight, friend, and you never have to cut a tree to get more sunlight. The sun gives all of the light. You just have to step away from the tree, and then all of the light will be there. Or you can just find yourself at the top of the canopy. Cutting the tree down isn't going to give you any more sunlight. Massively off topic here, but I am in the middle of a sandstorm right now. I have never seen one before. The color is insane. Where are you right now, Nelson? A sandstorm? Goodness. For some reason, my mind goes to Saudi Arabia first, then it goes to Dune. Like those are the two references my mind is pulling right now for what does sandstorm look like. I hope you're safe. I do believe you will be. Thank you for letting us know, Nelson. Anger slash upset is a natural human reaction. I don't think it was anything to do with confidence. Yep, yep. The most important thing is how we overcome those feelings, how we use them to grow and understand ourselves. It's so beautiful to me to see you echoing the words I tried to say as well. Thank you, Eden. Ninja Nanner, beloved Corey. It's not so much about how you feel, but how you react to those feelings. Couldn't agree more with you, friends. I'm sorry you're having a rough time. Sending you love and healing as always. Thank you so much, Nelson. Thanks, Nels. Hey, red clicker. Love to you, friend. Melt, I'll just have to plant another tree. Me, plant all the trees. Yes. You know, how many trees do you want to plant? All of them. What do you mean, sir? I want to plant all of the trees. But, sir, what do you mean? All of them. Do you know what he means? Thank you so much. Corey, I love you, but do this, brother bear. Just to elaborate, the new neighbors are weird. They filled their gardens with mulch and added one potted plant, and it just looks like a barren space now. I guess the tree slash garden wasn't aesthetically pleasing to them. What is not as like my brain is like getting angry, and then I'm like, no, stop. And then my brain's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, relax. Hey, calm down. Hey, how about you chillax? How can you not find a tree aesthetically pleasing? A tree is a tree. It's literally a fractal exploding out of the planet. Like I've never looked at a tree and was like, yeah, this tree isn't aesthetically pleasing, because it's a fractal. It's a fractal. You just look at a fractal. You can see the intricacy. You can see the beauty of experience. You can see the decisions that tree made within its immediate circumstances. How the fractal adjusted to where it's at. I guess I guess it depends on what you see when you say tree. Some might just see wood to be chopped down to be turned into furniture. Some might see, the lifeblood of our very planet, housing to little critters, means to hold the soil together, aerated, utilization of water that just falls. Thank you for the oxygen. Beautiful trees. Anger is a misaligned perception. If we are angry or if we are sad, then we've lost touch with reality, because all things exist at once. Love, anger, sadness, hate, it's all part of the painting. Oh, Nelson, brother Vey, such beautiful words. Couldn't agree more. A on the B is joining us as well. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. So, and how are you doing? How's the Haywire Hill doing? So, our house now has to overdo the plants for the bees. We let the weeds and wildflowers grow and put up a sign that says, "Mind the weeds, we're feeding the bees." Probably irks them so bad. Don't be sad. Get even. Yes. I love that, Eden. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. To manifest that which we want instead of lamenting about that which we don't. I love that. Y'all are incredible. I am also all for the biodiverse yards. Grass is like the worst. Yes. Okay, I'm so happy that you friends say that as well. Grass is like the worst plant for oxygenating the air, especially because we keep it so short. All for what? Ground fashion? Like grass. I'm also actually anti-grass for whatever that means because not only is it not that great of a plant, it doesn't do that much for oxygen, it doesn't do that much for the soil. I mean, it does something for the soil when it comes to erosion, but there are plant species or grass species that grow tall and then store water within themselves, and then as a result of that, kind of produce food seasonally. Where the grass that we have on our yards, we have to use so much water. By the way, in the world right now, or I think maybe just in America, grass, people's lawn grass, is one of the biggest crops being watered right now. Just think about that for a second. One of the biggest crops in America is people watering their grass. It's kind of trippy, isn't it? When you start seeing the same number over and over, try to remember what you're thinking about or doing at that time. That's a good advice as well, actually. Thank you, Ninja Nanner. Ground fashion. I like that, actually. To keep ticks away. Uh, Ticks love long grass, I think. That is also true. But the ticks are on the short grass as well. You know, we've had a few instances where there's a tick just kind of missioning towards me. I have to check as the paranoia kicks in. See, the ticks aren't my favorite, that's for sure. In New York City, it was dangerous because of copperheads. Always scary when someone in the neighborhood was bit. Copperheads. Copperheads are a type of snake, right? An NC. Is it New York City? I don't know if there are copperheads in New York City. Personally, I'd love to create mats of moss all over my future land. Yes, moss is like definitely the ideal. Like I'm trying to figure out what I would want to do as well. I don't know. I would like to grow a grass that is a little bit more hardy. That's the first thing that my mind goes to, and then I think about, going and sitting on the grass, and then I'm like, hardy grass is going to be fun to sit on. Dualities, yeah, flipping back and forth. So annoying. The only thing that irks me more is people who wash pavement. The stream is about letting go of anger, and I'm here getting angry over people and their ground fashion. It's perfect. It's perfect. Let's feel all into all of it. Ticks. I'll take ticks over venomous snakes. I'm staying in Canada long. Yeah, I think Canada is too cold for the snakes. Can't tell you how many times I've stepped over one and thought, oh, no biggie, just was a few inches away from hospitalization. Thank you, nature. Oh, we just gotta educate them fools on why they're silly. I I take ticks and spiders over snakes any day. Yeah, I have ticks, spiders, and snakes here in South Africa. So, GD, nope, nope, nope. Good day, nope, ropes. Why you gotta be so angry? I just feel they're scared. That's the thing. That's literally why we get angry or why we act out. It's because we're scared, and it's the same thing for these little snakes. They see this massive imposing being that easily has the means to eat or murder it. And then it's like, I need to defend myself. I need to actually finish the stream. Friends, I'm sorry to end it so abruptly. I'm happy that I actually paid attention and looked at the time. I have to go and attend class. I can't believe I'm saying that. Going back to school. Thank you, friends, for joining me here today, for sharing these moments with me, for feeling into this truth with me. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you go into your day feeling a little bit better, feeling a little bit more open to feeling whatever it might be, feeling bad, feeling good. Just feel whatever it is you're gonna feel, friend. I love you. I hope you feel loved. Damn it! How dare you not feel loved? I'm like trying so hard. I love you to bits. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow about the same time. I'll finish about this time. So minus an hour tomorrow. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, my beloved friend.